This is an example of things that sound better in your head but should never be said aloud. I really, really loathe the descriptor of female-led. Discussing the new rumored Star Wars series from Russian Doll co-creator Leslie Headland, which I heard was good. Answering a fan question regarding the series can't be explained. Whenever you court and go out and get insane award-winning level talents as storytellers, you're just setting yourself up for good things. I mean, it can go bad. It can go bad, like in all the other... no, not all the other. I'll say 90% of the female-led films in the past 10 years have gone bad. We've seen it go bad before, but generally speaking, you are just setting yourself up for success when you're putting the people who have already demonstrated that they can make great, compelling on-screen stories, and you get them, okay, now here's where you're dissembling here. You're being a little dishonest. You're talking about people who have made great stories kind of in their lane, in their area of expertise, where they had, I don't know, women doing romance films, acting like women, and men acting like men, but now you have them kind of branching out into something where you're having women act like men. Very few people want to see that, and even fewer people want to financially support that with a $12 ticket price. Campia then states, now listen. I can already hear the man babies crying about, how do you let those words come out of your mouth if you're in sales? And yes, men, this is sales. You're trying to sell something. You're either selling yourself or you're selling a business. You're selling something where you're representing a financial interest. You have a fiduciary duty to your stockholders. To hear that word, to be so condescending and patronizing, it shocks the conscience. Man babies, I would just sit these people down and say, listen, this kind of thing, this kind of Chuck Wendig level speech, stop it. You will respect the people who have money in their hands, no matter their color, their religious, their sexual orientation. If they have money in their hands, you will respect your customers. And this is another thing that people seem to forget, and I've seen this happen in CG too, with some creators. They don't seem to understand that when they have a dispute with someone on Twitter or in YouTube, and it's public, which it is, everything's public, other people are seeing how you treat these people. So if you treat one customer who has a concern about his business, and you have a little disrespect or a little cavalier attitude, well, 100 people are seeing that, and all it takes is one of them to talk about it on another video or a Twitter or retweet it. And besides the carrot and the stick approach, why would you treat a customer like that? The female-centric, there is an agenda. Let's just put that to bed and not touch on this again. So you're saying let's not dispute it. Let's not discuss it. Just accept my word for it, without any presentation of any rebuttal or anything. Just pay for your tickets, sheeple. But people don't want to just be sheep and buy the crap that you're pushing down their throats. And it doesn't matter if there is an agenda in the film or not. It matters if there's a perception of an agenda, if people suspect there is. And it matters, okay, do you remember when Solo came out and one of the kind of the smaller persons who was working on it said Lando was pansexual? People heard that and just said, no, I'm not going to see the movie now. You just lost ticket sales because of, like, an art director said something stupid. Tell every single person who's working on the film, maybe just to not speak on the movie. Or most reasonable people know that, okay, you don't want to say anything that alienates anyone. So to make Lando a beloved character pansexual, not only does it go against the character lore, but it goes against people. People do not want a pansexual character. Very, very few people want a pansexual character. Even fewer people know what it means, but they're not into it. If this comes out and it's only 4 shows, that's 75% of them are male-led. They got one that's going to happen to be a female-led one, deal with it and just move on. No, you don't talk to your customers this way. You want to give them a product and they will give you money. Can we move on from that? Thank you. And don't ever condescend and patronize people. Oh, that was just the dumbest thing I've ever... So she has to stand on a certain piece of land to hold up this visual map, this cartography sword. What if the land eroded away? What if the spaceship eroded? What if the basalt the spaceship was resting on, there was a volcanic activity? What if there's plate tectonic? MacGuffin, Deuce X. He goes on to state that he thinks the show sounds great because of the talent behind the scenes, referring to Russian doll Leslie Headland. I do have her video. It is unbelievable. I always think, like, I hear YouTubers and ah, and I do it myself too, because, you know, we're amateurs, we're not in the public eye. As you get a bigger channel like the Quartering or something, you probably get a lot better at public speaking. But the rest of us, we're just really roughshod amateurs. I always think about these people who, Leslie Headland, who have to give public speeches. Shouldn't she polish that up with someone? Go over that with someone a little bit beforehand? Like, one technique they use is you put a loose rubber band on your wrist, and every time you say or ah, you flick the rubber band. And you'll learn very, very quickly not to do it. I should probably use that technique, but it seems kind of weirdly kinky now that I think about it. If you go through her resume, stuff she's worked on is very impressive. Okay, but is it stuff that kind of stayed in her lane? Her lane is anywhere she wants to go. No, it's not, because that's not how movies work. That's not how formerly male-led roles work. We've got like 10 million years of evolution. Star Wars showrunner Leslie Headland calls white women at the top the silent killer. Oh, I won't get into that. Campia then throws to his co-host, who provides a very drastic opinion. She praised Russian dolls, believes it's cool that Headland is attached to Star Wars series. She takes issue with the fact that the series is being marketed as female-centric. That's just a warning. I'm just going to come out and say it. That's a warning that the movie is going to suck. Female-centric films suck. Because they're not even... A true female-centric film would be like a romance thing. When you got, I don't know, some Victorian age vampire romance, whatever it is when they're usually into romance, stuff like that. That's the warning. But this isn't really female-centric. This is more like... role reversal, I don't know what you call it, where you're taking what should be a male character, Luke Skywalker, and replacing him with a female character. Women aren't into it and men aren't into it. People are into the legacy of Star Wars and the name of Star Wars, but very few people were into the film. Though I will say Daisy Ridley did. She did as well a job as she could with the dialogue, so it's not really her fault. It's like the Vagrant Queen chick. I can't tell if she's a bad actress, but I don't think so. I think the dialogue is just so bad that what do you do with bad dialogue? Laurence Olivier is not going to be able to turn bad dialogue into a compelling scene, I'm assuming. Here's why I love the idea of a predominantly, oh sweet Jesus, female cast. I think it's fantastic. And if this is a world which is like, maybe there's a planet, there's only female characters. How? Does scissoring? Well, sorry. Then she goes on to describe an episode from Rick and Morty, sweet Jesus, that takes place on a female-only planet and pokes fun at a lot of stereotypes of, oh my God, they would kill each other in 28 days. Bringing it back to Star Wars, she states that if they want to make a world that's just women, kind of pokes fun at us too, except they won't poke fun at you. They'll poke fun at men. They'll poke fun at the humor they think that men are directing at women, but most men are not obsessed with women. They just want to leave women alone to do their things, and men will do their things. It's women like this that want to insert themselves into situations, like over-control, micromanage type of stuff. She explains her issue with how the series is always being promoted. Problem is, why are you only releasing the fact that it's a female-centric show? Oh, and they're going to be doing some kung fu or whatever. Because nobody wants to see women... Well, I guess the original Charlie's Angels, was that in 2000? When those the three lead girls are doing kung fu and like flips and jumping, dancing, tiger, crouching, whatever things through the air on those, high wire. That was cool because there were three hot chicks doing those things. But nowadays, if you see women doing kung fu, it's just going to be... it's just going to be lame. Really, really lame. Lack of demand. Yeah, I already covered that. Lack of demand for toys. Nobody wants toys. She points out the hypocrisy of how the series is being marketed. Can you read me the headline again? Except take out female-centric. But it is female-centric. If it was male-centric, it'd probably be cool. But the point is, and the thing is, nobody tells these people. Nobody is honest with them. Just says, yeah, female-centric movies, they're not that cool. They're pretty lame. There's like a half dozen in the past 4 years, starting with Ghostbusters 2016, Dark Phoenix, Terminator 6, I guess, that Ocean's 8. Probably a few more that I don't even remember because they were so lame. Yeah, they were lame. Women, chick flicks. Because okay, that's the thing, is they're not chick flicks. They're male flicks, but they replace the male with women. So the point is, these shows you talk about are predominantly male-driven. Nobody says, oh, we have this upcoming series, we aren't going to tell you anything about it, but it's going to be predominant. Well, you'd show who's the lead character, so you just know right off the bat if it's male or female led. And here's the thing, we want to watch men in roles that conform to their gender expectations or their sex roles. Men acting like men and women acting like women. And I get the feeling that these kind of people, they speak in 1984 Newspeak, where they're not allowed to say those kind of things. Yes, I want to see shows with more women, obviously. Yeah, because they've been so successful in the past. But you don't have to say that's a selling point. Tell me a little bit about the story, make me fall in love with the story. Yeah, but your stories suck because you have women doing men's roles. Anyway, I know that a lot of people, not just men and women, some named Karen, are going to be, all right, I'm not interested in that. I'm tuning that out. Then why make those films? Oh, because we want to force people to be interested in it. Anyway, it's fucking retarded. Like, comment, subscribe, send me an email, Bianca Zombie 602@gmail.com, or hit my P.O. box if you want to send me art or a comic book to take a look at. Anyway, guys, I will see you on the next episode.